So one of my biggest pet peeves has always been in doTERRA when I help someone get a kit and I work so hard at a class and I teach them about the oils and then they go home and they never open it or they never use more than one or two oils in their box. And I feel like I got a chance to utilize the wellness consult, and that to me is the missing link in that follow-up process that created that pet peeve of people not using what they had. So we actually started a new team recently, and that was when I had the chance to try out all of these new tools. You may have seen the Wellness Consult certificate. This is the main thing I'll be talking about today. So, all right, so you've just shown them the kit sheet. This is the new one, and you've gone over their kit options. And then you're saying to them, as you're looking at those kits and you're looking at your list, your wish list of essential oils that you have from our class today, and I'm sure it's very long. As you're looking at that, you may find that you need to split up that list. You can't maybe purchase, everything at one time. And so let me tell you about this, a way to split that up and a way to enjoy some additional support. Have you ever purchased a computer or something that came with a support package? So I don't know about you, but I'm not a real techie. So when I get a new computer or a new electronic device, I really love to have the ability to call and get support on how to use that. This is what we call our support package, if you will. It's called our Wellness Consult Certificate, and what you get is you basically get one-on-one time with myself as the educator of the class and the gal who invited you tonight or guy. And so you're always connecting the enroller of this person and another individual if you can, so that you're training these people when you go out to do the consult, okay? So we're at the class, we're saying, you've got the Wellness Consult Certificate, and this is what that entitles you to, is one-on-one time with me. I tried to make sure that these people knew nothing about my achievements in doTERRA, nothing. I'm just an educator like you at a class, okay? And they are ecstatic when you tell them this Wellness Consult Certificate is going to give you one-on-one time to go over your health concerns and the issues in your family. At this class, you may not have felt comfortable telling us that you have hemorrhoids or something like that. But at our one-on-one time, you can get down and dirty, tell me whatever, so we can get it cleared up. Most of the people at your class will not get that type of time with a doctor. Most of them maybe get 5 minutes with their doctor, and they are looking for that type of connection. So when I explain this, people are excited, and they are looking at that certificate, and they're saying, I want one of those. And I just remind them, guess what? You can get the certificate to have us come and do this wellness consult with you just by purchasing any of the kits on this page. Any of these wholesale kits will get you this consult. And then you go over the next part. It says, receive a free Modern Essentials book with 125 loyalty rewards. Now, someone new, they are so clued out to the whole loyalty rewards concept that all I tell them is that I say, guess what? I know you have a list of oils that you picked tonight. And this list might be long, and you may need to split that up for budget reasons. And if you need to split that up for budget reasons, that's great, no problem, because it's perfect. You can get whatever kit best serves your family tonight, and then you split your second order into next month. So say that we're in June, then you could split your second order into July, as long as that's 125 PV, which is roughly $150, then you're going to be eligible to get a free book, the book that we've been using tonight in the class that you love so much that you really can't live without once you have oils in your home. So do you see how when I explain that to them, now they are thinking, okay, I don't have to spend all the money tonight. I can separate it out. I can budget better, and I get the free book, and I get this consult. Okay, so like I said, I had a block. I did this the first class I did this with. I was worried. I didn't know how it would go. It went awesome. Love this. And people were just excited. So I scheduled it with them right then. Just got out our phones and looked at the calendar. And if we had to shift it later, so what? But we just had it on there, right? We put the dates down. That was really important too, because I don't personally feel like you just say, okay, we'll schedule that later. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, it was really hard to get a hold of them at that point, right? And so to me, it's really important that you have a date and time set before they leave the class. The other piece that is really fun is that, here you are closing that and they're excited and you're excited. And then when you get to be with them, because they've had life happen in between. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Make sure the timing on the consult. Okay, you don't want to schedule the consult 30 days from the class. Okay, that's too far, too big of a gap. Do your best, if you can, to schedule it within 2 weeks of the class. Generally, I find that, say they purchase a kit and it's going to come on, Monday or Tuesday, that I need to be there that week sometime to connect with them. And once again, I'm bringing the enroller, the gal or guy that has helped enroll that person with me. And so they're getting trained while we're there, right? They're watching how to do the consults. Many of you might be thinking, I don't want to spend my whole life doing consults with people. Well, all I can tell you is that this is going to make your business so much more effective. Because when you spend that time, think about the seed that person is at that point. They have just that seed of belief in the oils has just been planted, right? They're wanting to believe, they've ordered, they've put some money out. That's their way of creating value. Now you're creating value by saying, let me come and nurture that seed right at the perfect time. And it really is the perfect time. I cannot tell you how perfect it is, because when I go to these consults, what I find is that people are adding things to their loyalty rewards order, which is so fun, right? Instead of saying, I don't think I want that order. They're adding things to it because we're going over the form. Now, let me address what I'm talking about when I say the form. So in your success training guide, the new success training guide that looks like this, do you see that? It has on page, right now it's 107, it has the wellness consult form, okay? And this is going to be, for many of you, you might be scared to death about doing a consult. That form gives you all, you just walk through it, you ask them to fill out, it's got all the instructions on it, okay? And if you are nervous, just get out there and try it, because you'll find that you really enjoy getting to know that person better. And so the other goal of that consult is actually listening for the magic words. You know what the magic words are? Magic words are, my friend has this, and I thought maybe I would give them a bottle of, or try a little bit of Breathe, or, they're going to bring up somebody in their life it needs something or has an ailment. And when they say that, it's perfect, because at that point I use I help them schedule a class, and it's not scary because they've been the one to instigate it, right? So it's perfect. There's a couple other ideas, and everyone's a little different how they do this. But I'll just give you some of the things that have worked really well for us. And that is like on the first consult, some people, maybe they have what we call the Zyto Compass. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it. It's basically a device that scans the body and tells you your most urgent needs and uses essential oils to help address those. And so that's something you can take with you to the consult, and it's kind of fun for the new person. What else do you think it might do? Probably gives them more oils that they didn't have on their list, right? Because it might pull up some obscure things that you didn't talk about at the class, like vetiver or AromaTouch or something like that. And so you'll get a chance to teach them a little bit more about that and explain it. And then guess what? They want to put it on their loyalty rewards order. It's magical. However, I have done consults without that. I've totally done them. And I really 100% believe it's about connecting. It's about being with them, making that friendship stronger, right? Because a lot of times, if I'm the educator of the class, I'm not the person who invited them. And so I don't know them. But this way, they're imprinting more so on myself and then the enroller who's there, even more as people that want to support them. There's a second consult as well. That is terrific. You can do maybe your AromaTouch technique for them at that time. Some people feel like they need to offer something to get people to do these consults. You don't have to, but it is a way to make it maybe, something they're going to schedule their time for, right? And what I have seen is that if you do that, right, think of now maybe you gave them a scan, or you did that first wellness consult. They thought of some other oils that they could use, and then you scheduled the second consult and you said, I'm gonna actually give you this AromaTouch technique, which is a fabulous clinical approach to essential oil application. You're gonna love it. It's gonna feel very relaxed. You're gonna feel very relaxed afterwards. It's amazing, right? Now they experience that. Now they have a few more oils that they want to add to their loyalty rewards. Now, are we doing all of this because we just want additional money coming in because we want them to order more oils? No. Please make sure that's not your intention. For me, it's constantly about, my focus is, if as I help them see additional oils they can use in their life, they are going to shift to a more wholeness lifestyle, a wellness lifestyle, right? doTERRA is about changing their lifestyle so that they don't constantly look to other sources and have synthetics going on in their life, right? And so the more that you're exposing them to these things, it's just, oh, it's incredible. The other thing I've seen happen from using this wellness consult certificate so consistently is people, when I'm meeting with them, are becoming builders so much faster. And it's not because it's me, guys. It's just because they're connecting, they're having more time right when that seed is ready to grow. And so that has been so powerful. I am so glad that I didn't just go, I can't do that because that's something I don't understand, or I'm scared, my team hasn't been using it. Give it a chance, just try it. And you'll be surprised. Whatever you promote is what people are going to do. So when you promote that the book is free, and remember, someone along the line is going to ask you, well, what if I just want to buy the book? And, every team has different decisions on that. But what I say is, look, if you're buying the book, it's $35. And make them pay that higher price. That's not the price I pay for it when I buy in big bulk, but that is the price they should pay for it because it has a huge value, and that's how much it would cost them to try to get it over the internet. So all I can say from my own personal experience is that using this has made a team grow overnight, if you will. I mean, in the sense that in a few months, the team went from, just blossoming. It was crazy. I have had leaders show up where I never expected them to be, and very solid loyalty rewards orders. And to me, that is probably one of the weakest things that can be, an issue, is that block of, how do I get people on loyalty rewards, right? So you are at that console obviously going over how to adjust their cart and making sure that looks all correct, and you're being very clear that this is a monthly order, right? But because you're meeting with them several times, the first and second consults, you get all those questions answered. So you're using the wellness consult form to do the consult, right? But you're also using the guides, the share guide. If they mention anything about someone who needs this or someone who needs that, you go ahead and pull that share guide out and start saying, well, let's write down those names of those people that you just mentioned so we don't forget, right? There's nothing really huge and committal about it, but it's interesting how as soon as you start to write those down, they go, oh yeah, well, there is someone else I was thinking of, and there's this other, oh yeah, and now they can actually have those all in one place instead of just trying to keep it in their head and you both remembering, oh, that person you mentioned. It just drives them down that path. Now, some people you'll meet with, they'll go straight to the build guide right in that first consult. And if that happens, that's awesome. The build guide is basically their first piece of training. And you're going to love if you have that situation. But at the very least, remember, it's all about you spending time with that person so they feel important, okay? This consult is not about you. It's not about you talking about yourself, so please don't do that. Please listen to them and give them ideas. Open up the book. Try not to be the fountain of every answer, right? Like, oh, well, what do I use for this? Here's your answer, bam. Now they're like, well, I'm going to be calling you in the middle of the night, right? Instead, open your book with them, use the book, and show them how to use the book. Just a little example off the side that was fun was like, I was doing a consult with someone and I mentioned deodorant. I tell them, well, I use Solace and Melaleuca or Balance. It just depends. And that's my deodorant. And they said, oh, really? And so we turned to the deodorant page in the Modern Essentials, and we looked over some of the ones that were there. And I mentioned that my husband uses something totally different, Elevation and Purify. Sure enough, by the second consult, that person had actually picked what their favorite one was and tried a couple. And do you see how it can just become this process of now you're connecting, giving them ideas, and it just changes their whole world and they engage in the doTERRA lifestyle. So have fun with it. Enjoy it. It's a blast.